Hello there, my name is Volodymyr and now we'll unveil the top news of recent days. Today, Ukrainian athletes won their second medal at the Olympic Games. On Monday, saber athlete Olga Kharwan won bronze, and today Serhiy Kulish won silver in shooting from 50-meter rifle in 3 positions. Yes, Ukrainians now win medals in those competitions where it is necessary to fight. After all, our entire country is now fighting for its future. As Olga Kharwan said, we fight and advocate for those who unfortunately cannot come here because Russia killed them, she said. This is dedicated to them and all our defenders. And as the Associated Press notes, Ukrainian athletes at the Olympics in Paris bear the burden of war.
We are proud of our team, the men and women who, despite this aggressive war, have managed to prepare for the Olympics and embody the spirit of all Ukrainians. They have our will to win and Ukrainian character. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, on social network X.
He also emphasized in his statement that the Ukrainian flag and anthem stand with everyone who respects life, human values, the principles of the Olympism, and fair rules. Ukraine has the smallest ever team at 2024 Olympics, but President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said Ukraine's participation in the Olympics in France was a major achievement during the war itself, adding that the presence of athletes in Paris will help people at home lead normal lives. And Zelenskyy also noted that Putin's actions have led to the only Russian sport today being the killing of people, and the world will never tolerate this. Russia must lose this war and lose this terror, then life will be only the winner. Only 15 Russians are competing as neutral athletes without permission to use flags or anthems, and all have been screened for any ties to the Russian military. Russian officials have complained that the restrictions were unfair and discriminatory, and several athletes have turned down offers to compete as neutrals. But Russia is still present at the Olympics. French police have arrested Russians amid a Russian disinformation campaign aimed at instilling fear and discrediting the Games. The Russian State Duma has proposed increasing the length of military service to 2 years for those who have recently received Russian citizenship. This was reported on the agency's website. In addition to its proposed increase in the draft age for migrants, State Duma Chairman Vyacheslav Volodin proposes preparing an initiative that concerns military registration and foreigners. It is assumed that a condition for accepting Russian citizenship may be registration for military service, which would take place simultaneously with receiving a passport. In January, Putin signed a decree on issuing Russian citizenship to foreigners who go to fight in Ukraine. In Russia, there are periodic raids on migrants. They are caught in markets, construction sites, dormitories, mosques, and other public places. Security forces organize raids together with employees of military registration and enlistment offices, handing out summons to those caught on the spot or immediately delivering them to the military registration and enlistment officers. At the same time, authorities in 9 Russian regions are offering cash rewards to those who bring people willing to go to war to selection points, Verstka found out. The largest rewards are promised in the Yaroslavl region and Tatarstan, 100,000 rubles each. A similar payment of 50,000 rubles is offered in the Nizhnevolzhsky pipe plant in Volzhsky, Volgograd region. This once again proves that the flow of volunteers in Russia is decreasing. Because of this, the authorities have come up with new ways to lure people to war. The already mentioned referral system, a record increase in one-time payments for signing a contract, and more. In St. Petersburg, they went even further. They began to require workers at enterprises to bring a friend and relative acquaintance to war, not only for a reward, but also under the threat of losing their bonus at work. And to make sure that even more people are willing, Putin signed a decree according to which the federal one-time payment for signing a contract increases from 195,000 to 400,000 rubles. That is more than twice as much. The increase is valid from today until December 31st, 2024, and the regions are recommended to raise their payments to at least 400,000. In the regions, as we know, there is already a race for new recruits, and payments are growing by leaps and bounds. And Putin still decided to spur on those lagging behind. That is, the minimum payment will be 800,000 rubles, near $9,000, and the Moscow record will be 2.3 million rubles, more than $26,000. At the same time, the amount of the one-time payment can increase due to fictitious employment at an enterprise from which the plan for volunteers is required. In addition to payments from the Ministry of Defense, these people are also paid by the enterprise itself. This is how it usually works. Companies fictitiously register Russians or foreigners as employees. These employees, who have not worked a day, are sent from the HR department to war, receiving one-time payment from their employers, which can reach 405,000 rubles. In this way, companies retain their personnel and demonstrate loyalty to the authorities. All I want to say in connection with this information is there are no losses after all, right? Volodymyr Zelenskyy said that Kyiv will not oppose Russia's participation in peace talks. He said this in an interview with Le Monde. Zelenskyy believes that Russia's representatives should be present at the record peace summit in November. Otherwise, we will not achieve real results. The president does not want them to block the preparation of our common plan. If the whole world wants to see them at the table, then we cannot be against it. Most of the world today says that representatives of Russia should be at the second summit. Otherwise, we will not achieve powerful results, because Russia is fighting against Ukraine, and these are the sides of this war, Zelenskyy said. Ukraine emphasizes that first, the international community needs to develop joint positions in order to force Moscow to stop its aggression, to force it. Although some pro-Russian states disagreed with this, Volodymyr Zelenskyy separately mentioned China, which was in a small group of countries that refused to participate in the first peace summit regarding Ukraine, declaring the need for Russian participation. China and Brazil support the international peace conference convened at the appropriate time, which would be recognized by both Russia and Ukraine, with the equal participation of all parties, as well as with a fair discussion of all peace plans. It was decided at the meeting of the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and the advisor of the president, Celso Amorim of Brazil, in May. That is why Volodymyr Zelenskyy emphasized again that China has leverage over Moscow and can play a role in ending this war. If China wants to, it can force Russia to stop the war. China is an integral part of this world, one of the influential states. I would like them not to take on a mediating mission. I would like them to put pressure on Russia to end this, Zelenskyy said. Moscow, while not stopping the offensive in Ukraine and bombing Ukrainian cities, also often declares its readiness for negotiations, but so far has not shown any signs of a desire to participate in specific international meetings about ending the war. Russia refuses to talk about the withdrawal of troops from Ukrainian territory and until now assumed only the possibility of a ceasefire ultimatum demanding that Ukrainians stop resisting the Russian occupation before that. But as Zelenskyy said, in order to achieve peace, there must be an opportunity to restore the territorial integrity of Ukraine. We will be able to resolve these issues diplomatically if Russia wants to. When asked about the possibility of territorial concessions, Zelenskyy noted that no one has officially offered Ukraine anything, and that government cannot give away territories to anyone if the Ukrainian people do not want it. And we will continue our war. After all, what is the point of these 2 years of resistance if in the end Russia will get what it wanted? And that concludes our video for now. Thank you for watching. Stay updated, comment, like and subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. It is your support that really matters for us. Goodbye.